What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of When, Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. MLB. So, first game is Arizona Diamondbacks versus New York Mets. So, Diamondbacks have a 42.3% chance to win, and the Mets have a 57.7% chance to win. So this is at New York, and for pitchers, uh, Rodriguez for the Diamondbacks has an ERA of 4.4 and the WHIP of 1.29, and Pearson for the Mets has an ERA of 3.29 and the WHIP of 1.43. So home field and pitching is in the advantage of the Mets. So going with the Mets. Oakland Athletics versus Texas Rangers. So the A's have a 36.1% chance to win, and the Rangers have a 63.9% chance to win. So Rangers are the home team, and for pitchers, at the time of recording this, the A's have not decided on a pitcher, and for the Rangers, DeGrom is the pitcher, and he has an ERA of 3.33 and the WHIP of 1.07. And so I would say that's good for him. And so with it being a home game and with the pitching, I'm picking the Rangers over the Athletics. All right, Detroit Tigers versus Houston Astros. So the Tigers have 48.6% chance to win, and the Astros have 51.4% chance to win. This is at Houston, and for pitchers, Olsen for the Tigers has an ERA of 3.29, the WHIP of 1.24, and Busto for the Astros has an ERA of 2.78 and the WHIP of 1.1. So both, that's good for pitching. So it's a little close, but I would say slightly in the favor of the Astros. So with that and home field advantage, I'm picking the Astros to beat the Tigers. All right, San Francisco Giants versus San Diego Padres. So Giants have a 46.4% chance to win, and the Padres have a 53.6% chance to win. This is at San Diego. For pitchers, Webb for the Giants has an ERA of 1.98 and a WHIP of 1.1. And Veta for the Padres has an ERA of 1.2 and a WHIP of 0.77. So this is a really good pitching matchup. Both are below 2 in ERA. Like, that's freaking good. That is really good pitching. So this could be very low scoring. But it's slightly in the favor of the Padres. Like very slightly in favor. And the home field advantage for the Padres, I think the Padres beat the Giants tomorrow. NBA playoffs, round 1, game 5. The first game, Milwaukee Bucks versus Indiana Pacers. So the Bucks have a 32.4% chance to win, and the Pacers have a 67.6% chance to win. This is at Indiana. And yeah, this is a close series. Pacers are up 3-1 the series, and they have a home game. I think the Pacers finish this series at home and beat the Bucks to move on to the second round. All right, Detroit Pistons versus New York Knicks. The Knicks are up 3-1 series, and they have a 68.4% chance to win. And the Pistons have a 31.6% chance to win. This is at New York, and Knicks are playing pretty well. even though Knicks haven't always been the most consistent in the playoffs the past few years, they are playing well. And I think with this being at New York, I think they beat the Pistons to win the series and move on to the second round. All right, Orlando Magic versus Boston Celtics. So Boston's up 3-1, and they have a 76.2% chance to win. And the Magic has a 23.8% chance to win. This is at Boston. Yeah, I don't think Orlando's winning. Well, Boston's beating the Magic tomorrow to finish out the series and move on to round two. All right, Los Angeles Clippers versus Denver Nuggets. So this is an interesting one. This is at Denver. Series is tied 2-2. Denver has a 58.1% chance to win. The Clippers have 41.9% chance to win. Denver doesn't have a coach, so that will affect things later in the playoffs. But I think with this game being at Denver, I think they pull off the win tomorrow to go up 3-2 in the series. College baseball. So the only major matchup tomorrow is Oregon at Oregon State. So this is a midweek game, so this is going to be where a lot of their worst pitchers are going to be at because it's not a weekend series. And so Oregon won the series over Oregon State. Heck, I think they swept Oregon State, but those games were at Oregon. This isn't Corvallis. This is at Oregon State. Oregon 6, Oregon State 7. Yeah, I think Oregon State avenges their losses and beats Oregon tomorrow. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.